Hello, friend. How are you today? So let's take a look at gate 58, the gate of aliveness, vitality, the joyous. So something I want to just say to you as well is take a look at all of the keynotes throughout the entire wheel. We are built to have joy in our lives. There's a tremendous amount of suffering that happens in our world, and there is no necessity for it because the world, the universe is abundant, and joy is a fuel for us. So the 58th gate, remember, we are still here in the channel of mutation. Or sorry, the quarter of mutation. This is the last quarter that that will be presented in the wheel. Here, the 58th gate sits in the root. The root, remember, is all about fuel or pressure. Okay, so this gate of vitality is in the logical circuitry. The 58th gate brings the fuel for logic that needs to test the viability of patterns, the viability of formulas, the viability of rhythms, and the direction that we as humanity are moving into the future. So logic is all about the future. It's all about, coming up with formulas and answers to move us forward. That's science. The abstract is all about the past because it's happened. The experience has taken place, then we get to understand or come to a realization why it happened. Where logic is all about, okay, well, we will, come to an understanding based off of the science. And then, really logic wants to try to predict the future all the time. And it's about joyfully, testing these patterns, testing the formulas. So there's going to be a challenge here. And it's about challenging the patterns and challenging the authority behind it. I do a lot of research from everything, mainstream media to, the unconventional truth seeker. And if we don't challenge authority, we get into trouble. And that's kind of where humanity is at this moment. We've sat back, we've allowed for, this cross of planning that we're in for the last 400 years we've given away our power. And of course, this is all cyclical. This was meant to be just so that humans can now really, truly step into their inner truth, into their power, step back into your power. But at the moment, we're just coming to the close of this cross of planning, and you can see it. People are taking back their power. And love it or hate it, what Donald Trump is doing in the States, I see what the mainstream media is, puking out. But I also understand and see where his viability and his joyousness is for the future. And that is for people to stand in their own power. Quit relying on the government. Quit relying on big business. Quit relying on other people. Take back your power. And at the underscoring of it all, that's his message. Love it or hate it. Love it or hate it. So, there's this, this fuel for joy, to enjoy all that life has to offer. Enjoy the surprise and awe of the future, even though we're trying our very hardest to predict it all the time. And that is probably $1 billion business. people trying to, predict the future. Just relax into the joy, surprise, and awe that is presenting itself as you walk through your experience. Again, we're talking about logic. However, we're still having the experience. We're having all of this at once. So to satisfy a driving desire to contribute something of value, you focus your vitality and joy for life on correcting anything that keeps society from achieving and maintaining well-being and health. So of course, look at this. The 58th gate is pointing to the 18th gate. That is an awareness center, and it's all about health and wellness. We are built to achieve. We are built to be ambitious. We are built to enjoy our well-being. We are built to have healthy vessels. It's become big business to desecrate our forms so that, big business can provide us with a solution and try to fill us full of chemicals to, make us well, which doesn't make us well. Yes, conventional medicine has a place, don't get me wrong. When I broke my wrist, I was really happy that a doctor was there to put my bones back together. However, pay attention and pay attention to the vitality of your being. And, all of our decisions have vitality built within them. We have all of this in our energetic field. It's whether it is activated or not. But at the very primal level, joy is our right. And that's the important piece that we're forgetting. We are in a world of chaos, destruction, suffering, and we don't need to be in that place. Now, however, I am very aware that we live in a dualistic world, but we don't have to play way the heck out here on the balancing scales. We can bring it in and make decisions and live from our true self and barely tip the scale either way, and live in this beautiful, balanced area versus way out here where all of a sudden the teeter-totter goes absolutely insane. And right at this moment, right at this, precipice and this cusp of moving into this beautiful cycle of the sleeping phoenix, as we step into this in 2027, and that individuality and that power that we hold within, each one of us holds a tremendous amount of power. And breaking free of the conditioning and the control factor and stepping into the joy of what the future has to hold. There's lots of naysayers and darkness, and there's lots of that. And of course, again, duality, we need a little bit of, the this and the that. We have to have it or else we can't perceive. But relax into the joy. And if you have this in your design, know that vitality is behind your decisions. What is going to keep your being vital? So if you just have the 18th gate can become very nagging and be a constant fault finder without the joyful fuel of vitality. And let me tell you, here I am with the 18th gate, no 58th gate. Yes, that can happen. I can become a huge fault finder. And, it's okay for me to see those patterns and to see those faults, but I don't have to, let my mind take over and puke it out when it's not correct. You know, somebody asks me and there's a response there, perfect. As well, you know, challenging authority has been something that, you know, I scrutinize all leaders. I scrutinize it and I see the good and the bad. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I don't believe that Donald Trump is an angel. That's not what I'm getting at. It's just he's presenting exactly what needs to be presented in our evolution. Don't kid yourself. There is a program happening here, right? The mandala is happening, the movement is happening, and we are spinning through space in our beautiful, you know, concentric movement that's happening here to move us into this evolved position, you know, in our awareness. It's all taking place. And challenging that authority is important for that 18th gate, you know, and that 58 brings that whole vitality. You know, what is vital for us to challenge and what isn't, what brings joy and what doesn't. So if there's anything that intrigues you and you want to work with me in design, this is how to contact me. And if not, enjoy the videos.